Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a swipe. Cathleen from Cause Creations does this type. It's very pretty, very unique, and I will run through my colors real quick. And the colors are very, very thin. That way they can swipe over each other and kind of spread. They'll create cells. It's really a unique look. So first, this is Payne's Gray, and you can see that it's goes right back in. It doesn't leave a mound or anything. So I'm going to use a lot of this. And it is this right here. I don't know how to show that better. So it's Master's Touch Payne's Gray. Then I have Folk Art Teal, which is right here. And there's the bottle. It might be upside down. I don't know how to show that on the video. Alright, and then I have a fluorescent yellow. I got that on sale for $1.49. So let me put it in here, add a little pop of color. And it is a pop of color. It's very bright, but I like it. And then this color, it took me a while to get this because I didn't like the color that I originally had. You can see how that just goes right back in there. There's no mound. It just goes into the paint again. So this was originally the celery from Waverly. Then I added some Ink Lab yellow green. Still didn't like the color. Then I wanted a brighter green. And then I added some olive green. Still unhappy. So then I found my lovely fluorescent green that I got on sale. So all these three colors right here are mixed together in some type of combination to get this color. So I'll set that all over there. Get some space to work. And we do the Payne's Gray. Then I have this aqua, this chalk paint. Aqua color. Pretty. This goes right back in. No mound on a mound, just straight back in. And then I have Silver Anniversary from Folk Art. It's pretty shimmery color. And there's a lot of stuff in these cups that I won't be using this amount, obviously, but it's already pre-mixed. This color needs some more water. This is a mix of Inca Gold and, what does that say? Sahara Gold, sorry. Both from Folk Art. They're metallics. Then this color right here is just the Sahara Gold by itself. And you always want to check your consistencies. Again, I mixed these earlier and let them sit for a little bit because they had a lot of bubbles. And then my final one is a mix of Master's Touch Titanium White and then Master's Touch Pearlized White. So I mixed those together and got just a white. That's just going to have a little pearl. When it's dries, you'll be able to see it better. But again, you can see that this goes right back in there. There's no mound on a mound, which you hear people talk about. Or you just hear talk about honey consistency. That is a very warm honey. It just runs back in. Gone. I had mixed these earlier and they were all the right consistency, and obviously this one dried out a little bit faster. Either that or I didn't have it mixed very well. One or the other. So now you can just see it just goes right back in. All right, so there's that. Let me move some of this out of my way because I've got a lot going on over here. And the canvas I'm going to be using, I get these at Hobby Lobby. The 12 by 12 canvas. I got 2 of them for $4.99. And they're just plain square canvases, just nothing. They're not really thick on the edge. So they're just fun to play with, and you can sell them, you know, at your craft fairs, but they're not the gallery style. The gallery style has the 1 inch. So what I'm going to do on here, so like I said, Cathleen from Cause Creations, I watched her constantly when I first started this. And what she does is she takes a paper towel. She doesn't cut hers in half, but I cut mine in half. So I tore a piece, so I have my tear piece here and my tear side here that I tore off the other piece of paper towel. I'm just going to cut it down the center. Doesn't have to be perfect. And usually I do like 3 or 4 of these. And then I'm going to put my cut side together and then my tear side together. Because I'm going to be swiping with this tear side because it has like a little bit, I don't know if you can see all the grooves, little texture it has there. So that'll pull the paint along. I cut mine in different sizes. So I have some small strips, a little bit bigger strips, in between strips, you know, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can use all, I mean, if you want to just cut them in half and use that, you can. But I just like to have different swipe sizes when I'm swiping it, and you'll see what I mean. So you'll lay all these out together over in a little pile. And if they're the same size, you really don't have to worry about sorting them. But since mine are not the same size, I gotta sort them somewhat. And what you will do is, I just have this puppy pad down so I can show you all. So you'll have all your tear sides together, and then your cut side will be on one side. And you just want to make sure this side is wet. So you just get it wet and kind of squeeze it. You don't want it dripping wet. You just wet it wet. And don't do it all the way through. That way I can grab these pieces. I'm going to kind of separate them now so it won't be as hard to grab. And then just set them someplace where they're not going to be in the way. You don't want to set them on your other canvas because that would be, you'll get that other canvas damp. There's a lot of these. I think I'm just going to use half of these right now. Squirt some on there and squeeze paper towel together. And they're wet, but they're not, you know, soft and wet. Or they're still dripping. Again, here's my other size. Get them wet. I'm going to separate them some. And then here's my little one. Maybe. That one got a little too wet. Splash them on a puppy pad. No biggie. I can squeeze them out if it's too much onto my puppy pad. I've been using this puppy pad for a while just to show you all that you don't have to change them out every time you start a new painting. So let's see here. So I have 2 of these canvases. One, I'm going to kind of do them backwards. So like this one, I'll do mostly blue. So come up like maybe 3/4 of the way and do blue and then white at the top, the pearlized white. And then on this one, I'll do white at the bottom and the blue at the top. So I will just set this one over here because this one will be moved over there to get to dry. And of course they are taped on the back. Gives you a little bit nicer look. And plus, if you want to hang these on your walls, if you do have paint on the back and it's not sealed, this paint will eventually rub off on your paint, on your walls, which is not good if you want to move your paint stuff around all the time, which are your artwork. So I got me some little cups, and these are great for pouring, but they're not good for storing. So you don't want to store your paint in these paper cups because they're paper, and so they can get air into them and they will dry out if they don't leak out. So if you want to mix little cups and store them, you know, do your little Dixie cups, little well, not necessarily Dixie, but the plastic cups. And so, where's my other glove? Hope everybody's having a great Sunday today. You probably won't see this video till next week because I'll have to wait, maybe in the middle of the week. I'll have to wait until these dry to take a picture of the dry result. And now that I know how to link all my videos together, I can link it all together into one. So, actually that looks like 11, so but just one. But anyway, enough of me rambling. So here's my paint. Oops. No biggie. I'm going to move this back. I'm going to move all this over so that it does not get paint in it, on it, or around it. And that's just a mess. It's all dried, so it's not that big of a deal. Move my light over here. So this one, I'm going to go, just say, okay, maybe a little, let's see. Yeah, I'll go right through here. Somewhere through there. I'm just going to pour a nice little strip. And I'll work it around. Let it go off the sides, and then I'm going to bring it straight down and cover the bottom half of my painting. And remember, all your paints will dry a lot darker than what you have on your canvas. So where my little cups go, it's there, get that covered good. And need to get my paper towels to wipe my hands off with. There's still a lot of bubbles in here. So I'll just grab my torch real quick and go over these really quick. You can use your torch or a heat gun, but you definitely need something to pop these bubbles, else you won't get, the dry result will show a bunch of like little pits as the bubbles come through the top of the painting. Keep it moving so you don't burn your paints, because that's never good. So, still some bubbles in there. I'm going to put a tad bit more on here and tilt it down just so that I can get a nice even layer through the center. Try to. Well, that didn't work out, did it? Oops. So, nothing I ever do is ever perfect, but a lot of times they turn out looking really nice. So, don't think everything has to be perfect when you're doing it. So I'm just trying to spread this out so that I have a good, you can see the paint rolling, so you just kind of want to get that even all the way across. One side, go to the other. And you can tilt it back up. Alright, so I think I've got it like more than 3/4. But anyway, we'll go on. We'll see how it looks. So here's my pearlized white. I'm just going to pour that right here. Actually, you know what I might try? I might try to mix these colors right here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So there. I'm pouring that right over top of that. And then coming back this way. Just get that off the edge there. Oops. And I'm just going to tilt this back this way just so I can get all this paint covered on my edges. Yeah, I think I like it. So this isn't a painting at all. Like you probably won't even see that little bit there. So let's pop these air bubbles. That looks really cool like this. I kind of like it. The titanium white and the Payne's Gray are great at making those cells. And those are the little pockets of paint, like little circles of paint that have another color within them. So I'm done with this. And what I'm going to do is start, let's see what I want to start with. I might start with this fancy yellow. Not really fancy, it's just neon. And I'm going to pour this right along this, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna pour just right here. I'm gonna start off the edge, get a steady stream going, and just pour across. Go off my edge. Actually, I might go back and do a little more because I want it a little bit thicker. All right. Then I am going to come in with this blue and go right above it, but right beside it. And go off the edge. So start pouring off your edge so you don't have a big blob when you start pouring. So pour off your edge and then take it all the way off your edge to keep the having big blobs. And I'm gonna pour this. My hands are sticky because I got paint. Bridget, see, I just put my finger in that paint right there. Cover this edge a little bit with a little bit since I just stuck my hand in it. Genius. All right. So my hands are sticky because I've got paint on them and they're not a paper towel. All right, so I'm gonna pour some of this into here. And I'm also gonna go on and pour some of my other colors with this big cup into here. So just that I can control it easier. These are great because you can pinch them and get a good flow on them. So this green, I am going to just pinch it, get me a little edge going there, and just pour right beside this blue, but over top of it, near the top part. Some of it might mix together, some of it might not, but it really doesn't matter. And I'm gonna go back over because I like green. All right, so there's that part, and then we'll do this blue. Go right over top of the green, right beside it. Start off your edge and pour all the way off your edge. Little poodle doodle, I just dropped the whole cup. It wasn't full, it was just empty cup. So I'm gonna pour some colors into here. Here is the gold. I'm gonna pour this kind of at the bottom. Let's start this one at the bottom. It's gonna mix with that yellow, but that's okay. I might strike that through there just because I can. And I like that color. And then let me do one for this other gold. I'll do this right down the center. So your metallics also are good at creating cells. I'm gonna do this one here. I think Kathleen actually pours hers on top of each other now that I'm thinking about it, instead of all these lines. I honestly can't remember. I think I would because I watch her videos so much. She's got different techniques of doing all of these. I'll link her in my description. She's really a really great person to watch, and her music's very relaxing. So she was one of the ones I started watching when I first started this, because I would watch it before I went to sleep. And I'll just do this silver right here at the top. Do some down here. Just kind of strip it through there. Strike it through there. Alright, so got all my colors. I'm going to be pulling this up that way first. Or actually, I might go this way first. Yeah, I think I'll go down this way first. And I realize what she does now. She makes a line and then she'll have a dark line and then pour like a gold to gold and then the blue to blue. And then she pulls down the middle, which I might do that really quick. I can use that, do that with my dark paint. I could just make a line right here. I'll start it off the edge. And I'm going to go down the center. And I'll tell you why she does this in a minute. It just clicked in my head. So on the other one, I will do a white stripe down the center, and you'll see the difference. I'm trying to get that a little bit thicker. And let's see what colors I don't have. So I don't have the green down here, so let me pour this green down here on this side. I'm just going to pour it over the other colors. Add some more up there because I like the green. The yellow has kind of disappeared, so I'm just going to add a tad bit more through here. I'm going to add some on this bottom right next to the green. And then up at the top, remember, pour off the side and start off the side and keep pouring. See a little bit of this blue below that line. And I think my line got squiggly is why it doesn't look the same. So I don't know if you can see this right here, but it is so cool looking. It's got like a fade pearls. All right, I think I got all my colors. It doesn't matter. It's going to look good no matter what. So I'm going to start out with one of my bigger pieces just to give you an idea. So I'm starting with the tear part. And again, that's wet. I'm going to put it down in that line that I just did. And let it sit in there, grab it, and I'm going to pull it straight down. Try to, straight down. Things get a little curvy, it looks like. That's okay. And I'm going to support off the edge. And then lay that over there because you're going to throw it away. Probably be good to have a paper towel that I could just lay them on so that I don't get everything so messy. All right, so there we go. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get in that black line again, or the Payne's gray color again. And when you put this down, you can feel your paints are moving around because you have a lot on there, but you're going to just pull it straight down. I'm not going to show you what this is going to look like until I'm done because it's going to be really neat looking. So I'm getting some of my smaller ones, dipping them in the gray, the black Payne's gray. You can overlap if you want to. Just bring it off the edge. Dun, 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 dun. So this is probably one of the more time-consuming ones, but it's definitely one of the coolest ones also. You do want to do this nice and slow, like I just did that one really fast, and it didn't pull the colors down with it. So I'm going to try to do it again and really get into these colors that are right there. Pour them down all the way off the edge. And I don't know if that's a bubble or a piece of, oh, it's a bubble. All right. And then I'm going to get one of my medium-sized pieces. Always make sure you're using the tear side, not the piece you cut. We'll just go right over here, dipping it in this Payne's gray, and pull down slow, nice and slow. All the way off the edge. Dipping it over here again, pulling down just nice and slow. And I'm going to use a big piece or bigger piece size paper towel. I never like how my edges look. So I'm just going to get some of this black right here, and I'm going to get it over here on this edge, and I'm just going to swipe it down the edge. Not sure how I need to pay attention to how she does her edges. So we'll come over here with the big one and do this edge again. She might not even worry about her edges. I can't remember. Uh-oh. Kind of brushing it out, actually. So dipping it in the Payne's gray color and just pouring it down really slow. I'm going to take this, is what I need to do right here, is take this one that I just pulled and drag that down the side because it does have paint on it. This is looking good. All right, again, dipping the tear off side. It has little ridges, not the cut piece I cut. Setting it down in my paint and just pulling it down real nice and slow. I don't know if you can see what's going on over here, but it is super cool looking. And I lost my paints over here. I don't know what I'm doing here. I can see the canvas right here is what I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that looks so cool. So I need two like medium-sized ones to go down these last two right here. Again, I'm dipping it in this black line, which is kind of right there. And then I'm just going to pull it down. I'm not in the black line very well. I'm in the green line. You can see that pulled it down, but that's okay. Just go all the way off your edge. And that's why I like when I do my paper towels, I just get one side wet. That way I can definitely tell which piece I'm supposed to be dipping in my paint up here. So dipping it and pulling. I'm going to go over this green right here just because I don't like it. Solid green. And let's do right here because it looks like that didn't swipe. All right. That's party. So I'm just gonna pop my air bubbles real quick. And now what I'm going to do is swipe up. So I'm going to make me another black line, or the Payne's gray color line. I think most of my paint over here. I think that's where I was trying to swipe. So I'm just patting it with my little tongue blade or craft stick, whatever you want to call it, wood stick, just to get it covered. So now I'm going to go right where this line was, and I just start over here and pour a real thin line. All right, set that up there, and separate these, and I'm going to pull this right here down just because my black line's in. I'm going to go kind of fast, and I'm just going to use the same one, go back over it just to get it all mixed. You don't have to go all the way down. You can go halfway on some of them. It's up to you. But when you just go all the way down, it gives a more uniform look. So again, taking the ridges this time, I'm going to be setting it in my paints and pulling straight up over the white now. So this is going to look totally different. I'm dragging it off the top. Trying to touch up these sides. But anyway, I'm like smacking the paper towel into it. All right. I'm going to take it all the way off the edge. My cup is right there, so it's hard for me to do that. But I'm going to end up tilting this a little bit just to get that blue back up there at the top. Let's go with some smaller pieces right here in the blue and just pull it straight up. The paint's gray. I keep saying blue or black, but what I mean is paint's gray. And just make sure it just goes off the top, just like you did on the bottom. I have a heater on in this room. I have to turn it off real quick. I'm having like a major meltdown. Literally. I feel like I'm melting. Ugh. I have my door shut. This room's usually freezing, which is great for me, but it's not really good for your paints. So let's grab a big one. Got several of them in my hands right here. Gonna get in here, let it sop up some paint, and just pull it straight up over the white paint. Nice and slow, and then you just let it run off the edge. It probably doesn't help that I have my lovely apron on. I usually wipe stuff on my clothes, so try not to do that today. So this one, come over to the edge. I'm just gonna let it sop up, and then I'm gonna pull straight up into the white and let it go off of the edge. And I have a lot of paint on this one, so I'm just going to take it off this edge over here. Maybe, if I can get it to stay on there. It's always still on the table. You can always wipe it in there and smoosh it up. Ah, sticking to me. So let's get a small one. Get in that black line. And nice and slow, and just drag all your paints up over to the edge. Let it run off, and then I need like one more little one. All right, so I have a big old mess over here of my used paper towels. So what I'm going to do real quick is kind of move this around. So, whoa, got lots of paint on there. Can you see that paint moving? That ain't good. So I'm going to kind of slowly go over this way. Let me go up because I want that. You know what, this might not turn out the way I want it to, but that's okay. We'll see what we get. So I definitely had too much paint on my canvas, obviously. So let me pull that back down and try to get this poured off that edge right there. And then I'm going to bring it back down to the center. And You know what? I'm just going to move this all around. I think I'm going to scrape this. Oh, I don't know. I might keep it. Oh, it looks kind of cool when I'm moving it around. Total, not what I was wanting to do. But again, it looks pretty cool. So that's what I've got now. Let me just pull it back down this way. Yeah. Huh. It's not what I was wanting to do. But I do like it. Huh. All right, I'm going to take it back up to the top. Huh. I do like this. So this is going to be the only video I do today because I'm not going to be able to get one to match it. Pour it off this side some. I'm like, so these are some of the surprises you get when you paint. You don't know what you're going to get, and you're expecting one thing, and it is totally something else. So I'll also throw in here, I do my tower garden. I'll kind of explain that so you can grow your own like pretty much leafy vegetables. I'm going to grow some tomatoes and little broccolinis, and some like spicy salad mix, regular lettuce, and you just grow it in your tower garden. I have my seeds growing now. I planted them last Saturday, I think, and they are already growing like crazy. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I didn't do it last year, so I didn't remember exactly what I needed to be doing, because it was supposed to go out on the deck, and we hadn't done our deck yet, so we just delayed it, and it's been collecting dust. The first year I did it, it was really cool. So I just shouldn't have planted my seeds so quick in their little pod things. So this is, I don't know if you can see this, but it's pretty cool looking. That green, yellow really makes it pop. So I'm just pouring it back down this way. I think I have little goobers right here. See if I can get that out. Wow, I'm just really so much for this teaching video, but I guess this is teaching you that even though it doesn't turn out the way you want to, it doesn't mean it's not a nice piece of artwork. So once this gets varnished, it'll help these colors pop more. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this, considering it's not at all what it's supposed to look like. So I'm just right now just getting all this extra paint off here so that it doesn't crack. And I really like this part up here. You can see the cells in there. So just kind of keep moving it up and down. It kind of spreads the paint and kind of mixes the paint too, so you get a little bit different effect. So this is what not to do. I put way too much paint on there. That's why I couldn't get the swipe. Lesson learned. I hadn't done a swipe like that for a long time. But I will link Kathleen's YouTube channel in my description so that you can see what these are actually supposed to look like. And it's not like this, although I do like it. Just not a swipe. I couldn't tell you what it actually looks like, but it doesn't look like a swipe. I'm just bringing it back because I want this part right here over toward the centers more. So you just let it run back over. Try to get that top piece covered better too. I'm still here. The paint just is moving slow because there's not that much on there now, which is good. Okay, this is really cool looking. I'm sorry to keep going on about that, but I'm pretty impressed with myself on a screw up to make it look this good. I'm just going to kind of pat the sides where my fingers were. You can scoop the edge to kind of pat to get the cover. Make sure that you do go over your edges. At the bottom, you want to just take your finger over them, and then you can pat your corners if you need to add some paint anywhere. You can just grab some right there and push it on there. All right, so I guess this is how not to do this type of pour. But I do like it, so I'm not going to scrape it. I was thinking about scraping it, but I'm not going to scrape it because I do like it. And sometimes that happens, and hopefully when I go to my craft fairs and stuff, somebody else will like it also. I'm going to tilt back that way just a little bit to see if I can get that one fingerprint off that I couldn't get covered very well. Come on. Ah, it just fell in my paint, so I think I'm good. That's a good sign for me to stop. So, I will zoom in on here. I just stuck my hand. I tell you, I am like the most clumsy person sometimes. And I have never had this many problems with painting until I started videoing. I was telling my friend that the other day. I was like, you know, I made really good paintings. I said, and now that I've started videoing, I feel like I make a mistake in every single one of them. Which, you know, just, it's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn. So if you make a mistake, just work with what you got. And if you don't like it, scrape it off and start over. And it's not a big deal. It's just paint. And these are not expensive paints, and like you're mixing them with school glue, so that shouldn't be that much money. You're cutting down on the volume of just paint when you're mixing it with school glue or glue all. So this is school glue for me. I do usually use glue all for my pouring medium. You'll hear people talk about Floetrol and everything else. So let me wipe my hands off, and then I'm going to torch this, and then I will bring you down for a close-up. Poor torch, it's all covered in paint. So this might look really cool when I torch it, because it's going to bring some of those cells out just from mixing with the white, even though you can't even see the white in here anymore. It's under there. This is such a muted looking painting, but it has just pops of color in it, and it's very pretty. I'm just going pretty quick over it, make sure my bubbles are popped. Not at all what I wanted this to look like, but it is very unique looking. I like it. It almost looks like it could be like a countertop, like on a bar, in a bar. And then you can kind of glance at it from the side to make sure there's no chunks of paint or chunks of whatever in there, because that's never a good look once it dries. Alrighty, let me take these gloves off, maybe, and then I'll bring it in for a close-up. Alright, so there it is up far, but when I get in there, you can see, well, you can, I don't know if you can see that shimmer in there or not. And you see the reflection. But this thing is shimmering left and right. It is going to be gorgeous. Mistake that turns out beautiful. I'm trying to get it where you can see the shimmer. Oh, there you go. You can see some of it. And look over here. You can see the shimmer in there. So, oh yeah, and you can see, yeah, you can see it everywhere. I really like this. This looks like smoke. Green smoke, maybe from the Scooby-Doo Shaggy van, if any of y'all remember that. But yeah, you can see the shimmer in all this now. You can see it popping through. Wow, I just really like this. Not what I expected, not what I was planning, but I really like it. And you could turn it that way. You know, some of these pieces, like, I don't sign them just because people might want to hang them a different way than what I think they should be hung. And then they look different when they're hung different. So it's you know, kind of up to you. And these are very unique pieces. I won't be able to do this again. Ooh, that almost looks like a face right there. You see, like, the eyeball, messed up eye, and then a mouth, like a ghost. Oh, look. Oh, my gosh. It's like arms, the body, like a dress. Ooh, I'm just joking. That was my ghost sound. So anyway, I hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And leave any notes or comments for me, and I will try to answer any questions. And appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your week. May God bless you. Thank you. Bye. So this is a tower garden. I don't know if you all have heard of these before, but it's pretty much so you can grow your own veggies. I created that own trellis, I want to say, around it myself. But here are my veggies that I have growing. And I don't know, I might have to take the lid off. There's all my broccolinis. Never had broccolini. It's like little bitty, smaller heads of broccoli. This is tomatoes. You can barely see they're starting to sprout. I had to clean my water off. And this is a bunch of stuff I got going on right here. And the spicy salad mix is growing, and the spinach is growing. But nothing else is, the lettuce might be growing a little bit. There's all that. And I just spilt water everywhere. And then my sunflowers are down here. And they are growing also. The one's growing really big. So, when that happens, you might need to check the seeds. The seeds might not be, I can't get that on there. Growing real well. And this has sunflowers in it also. You can kind of see those are growing. I don't know if I can get a side view or not. Oh, wow. Okay, so that one's grown really big. Pretty impressive. But anyway, so that's my tower garden. So eventually these will be moved over into here. And this will be filled with water. And it has a pump in it from the bottom that brings the water up to the top. And it just flows down all these little pockets. So I'll keep you updated on this as this progresses. So this is another little hobby of mine. Alrighty, so this is how this dried. My little ghost lady is still up there with her arms and her gown. It kind of almost looks like eyes there. I don't know. So this is not what it was supposed to be I think I'm going to name it Sorry, Kathleen, because this is supposed to be like Kathleen Swipes, and it turned out nothing like it. But the shimmer on it, let's see if we can get a picture of the shimmer. There's shimmer everywhere because all of my colors were swiped together. But I don't know if you can see. It's like the greens. Let's see if I can get that. And it's not showing up real well here. But it's the greens and that blue. And it's just kind of all smoky looking through the Payne's gray background. I didn't even get the cells that I wanted. So, I mean, I got some cells in some areas, but not like I was expecting to get. But I wasn't expecting to pour so much paint on the canvas either. But, you know what to say, it happens. So, this turned out pretty cool after all. So, but not like I wanted it to. But anyway, it is what it is. Part of learning. I'll do another one without so much paint on the canvas. Have a great week.